What's up guys, Matt
and Blake
from the Football Boots team, and one of the most asked questions we get from a lot of you guys is what are the best pair of football boots we can buy for £100, which is about $130 US. So today's video is answering that exact question. We're going to be bringing you the top 10 best boots under £100. So in at number 10, we've got the Mizuno Moretti Neo KL, which costs £95. And the reason these are such a great option is that they come with almost exactly the same kangaroo leather upper as found on the Elite Neo and also MIJ Neo. So they're going to be very comfortable feeling throughout the boot, but there are a couple of differences between the £95 version and the £140. So what are they?
So the three differences between the KL version and the Neo is the suede lining itself. So inside the heel lining, you have a really nice suede lining in the Neo, but in this KL edition, you won't have that. The same with the sock liner. You won't have that sort of sandpaper rough texture to the sock liner. The sole plate is a different TPU, probably a cheaper, stiffer TPU, and the last one is the heel counter, so it doesn't have the external heel counter you see on the Neo.
In at number 9, we've got the Puma Evopower Vigor 2, which costs £90. And the reason these are such a great option is that there's almost hardly any difference whatsoever between the Vigor 2 to the Elite Vigor 1. So Blake, can you tell us what the differences are?
So the number one difference from the Vigor 1 to the Vigor 2 is probably the softness of the upper. On the Vigor 1 itself, it's just so soft, but on the Vigor 2, the upper is slightly more stiff. The same sole plate is used, but overall, this is such a good value for money option. Pretty much the same boot as the Vigor 1.
In at number 8, we've got a scaled down boot by Nike. We've got the Magista Onda 2DF, which costs £80, and it's actually quite good value for money, especially if you are a younger kid playing football and you want a collar football boot. Nike do cater for you at quite good prices. Now, what are the differences between the Onda to the Elite Umbro 2?
So to the Elite Umbro 2, there are actually a lot of differences. On the Umbro 2, you have that whole fly-knit upper and that dynamic fit collar, really seamless for all boot. But this is just a standard Avail synthetic upper. In terms of the collar, yes, it does have a collar, but it's not to the same quality as you see on the Umbro and the Auden. And that sole plate there is just a standard TPU sole plate. It's much stiffer, but overall a really good value for money option for the Magista.
Lucky number 7, and so far we featured some scaled down boots, but this time these are still elite tier boots. We've got the Umbro Speciale Eternal Pro and also the Puma Kings, another good option for that classical heritage boot. Both cost £90, and for the quality and craftsmanship, these are very good value for money boots. Blake, are you a fan of these?
Yes, I'm a massive fan of these because they're going to suit wide feet the best. So this is probably the best wide fitting option in this list. It's pretty much got a K-leather upper on most of the boot. The sole plate is just a standard sort of moldy system. This is the AG edition. Got a fold over tongue, so really classic leather football boot for cheap prices.
Number 6, we've got the Adidas Copa de Oro 17, which cost £80. We've got a pair on the table, so Blake, pick them up and talk us through what they have to offer.
So this boot screams value for money. Similar to the Gloro 15.1 and 16.1, the Copa Gloro 17.2 is a scaled down version of the Copa 17.1. Pretty much the same sole plate as you see on the Copa 17.1. Taurus leather upper, so it's not a K leather upper, it's a Taurus leather upper, but once you break it in, it's going to be very soft. Fold over tongue, great value for money option and great for pre-season.
So we're at our halfway stage, and in at number 5, we've got the Nike Mercurial Victory DF version, which are about £80. So very similar to the Magistas we saw earlier in the video. Scaled down boot by Nike, great for any of those players who don't want to spend a load of money, but still get a dynamic fit collar. What they have to offer?
So great for people that just want a collared football boot. The collared football boots these days by Nike are just so popular, and this is one of the cheapest options you can get. It's got a Tigen Avail synthetic. Very soft, but not the highest quality. In terms of sole plates, again, it's just a cheap TPU stiff sole plate, but overall it has a collar, has a Tigen Avail upper, it is a Mercurial brand, definitely great for kids wanting a cheap collared boot.
In at number 4, and just missing out on our top 3 positions, we've got my favourite brand, Mizuno, with the Moretti 2, which costs right at the top £100, but they also do a Moretti Classic at £80 if you want something a little bit cheaper. But for me, the Moretti 2 at £100 is a great option. Classical heritage, amazing quality of materials. What's so good about them?
So similar to the Speciale Eternal, this is going to suit wide feet perfectly. So it's very different to the Neo KL we've mentioned before, because that one's going to suit narrow feet perfectly, not great for wide feet. But this version, the Moretti 2, £400, you're going to get a very nice K-leather upper, great for wide feet.
Third place and taking our bronze medal is the Nike Premier 2.0, which has pretty much just been released. Costs £95, so really good value for money, and you still can get the Premier ones. Blake's just done it for about £90. Great pair of football boots.
So it's a really, really good pair of football boots. In terms of quality, you do have that K leather on most of the football boot, on both sides of the boot. Really, really comfortable. Great for wide feet as well. Like the Mercurial 2 we just mentioned, it's going to be really, really good for wide feet. This is the first generation, but the second generation, literally the same tech specs in terms of K leather upper, sole plate, pretty much getting the same boot, but with a fold over tongue. You can also get the anti-clogs, which are £150, but this one for £95 is great value for money.
Silver medal goes to one of my favourites, the Copa de Oro Lazzarinis, which cost £100, so right at the top. These are amazing. The leather on top, quality, the craftsmanship, and also one thing I love so much is that the upper is actually stitched through onto the sole plate, so durability of these guys is incredible. But why are they better than the previous boots we've just seen, the Premier 2s?
So comparing these boots to the Premier 2s, in terms of quality, that is the #1 reason why they beat the Premier. In terms of quality, they're handmade in Italy. You can't beat handmade football boots. The made in Japan versions with Mizuno are that good, and these ones made in Italy. The Copa de Oro Lazzarini is great value for money, and of course, it's going to be very, very comfortable.
Gold medal time, and it goes to pretty much a brand new model from Nike. We've got the Hypervenom Feel on 3DF, and the reason I say it's a new model is because it's just been equipped with a dynamic fit collar. You guys rave about it so much, the Hypervenoms are so popular, and these cost about £80.
So the reason why it's #1 is because it's a brand new solo. You can actually get a collar on the cheapest Hypervenom solo. On the Hypervenom Feel on 3DF, you can get a collar on the Onda DF, you can also get a collar on the Victory DF, but now the Feel on DF, you can get a collar.
So guys, that is today's video, all wrapped up for you, but the poll card question for you guys is today, from our top 5 we've just named, which one would you guys personally pick? So vote in the poll card now, but guys, that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, as always.
We'll see you next time.